Welcome to The Explainer. Hey, if you're a grade 12 math lit student, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to master one of the most important topics for your final exams, interest. We're going to break down both simple and compound interest so you can walk into that exam feeling totally confident. So let's kick things off with a question that, honestly, affects every single one of us. Are you saving up for something awesome, or maybe borrowing money for a big purchase like a car? How does your money actually grow? Or, on the flip side, how much extra do you end up paying back? Well, the answer to both is all about interest. And listen, this isn't just about getting a good grade. As the curriculum itself points out, getting your head around this stuff is a foundational skill for life. It's about making smart decisions with your money and just being an informed person out there in the world. All right, let's get into it. Okay, first things first. We've got to speak the language, right? Finance has its own little vocabulary, and once you get these key terms down, all the calculations that follow become so much easier. So this table here, this is basically our toolkit for today. First up, you've got the principal. Just think of that as your starting amount of money. Then you have the interest rate, which is the percentage that your money will grow by or the percentage it will cost you to borrow. And the term is just how long it's all happening for. And today, we're zoning in on those last two, simple and compound interest.
Let's ease into this with the most straightforward idea, simple interest. You often see this with things like hire purchase agreements.
Now, the absolute key thing to remember here, the thing you have to lock in, is that simple interest is always calculated on the original amount you started with, that principal. That's why we call it a straight line. The amount of interest you get each year never, ever changes. It's predictable and consistent.
So how do you actually calculate it? It's a super simple three-step deal. Let's imagine you invest R1 500 at 8% simple interest. First, you just find the interest for 1 year. Boom, that's R120. Then you multiply that by the term, let's say 3 years, which gives you a total of R360 in interest. And finally, just add that back to your original R1 500, and there's your final amount, R1 860. See? Easy as that.
Okay, you've got simple interest down. Now let's level up and talk about something way more powerful. This is where real financial growth starts to happen, compound interest. This, my friends, is where the magic happens. It's the absolute game changer in finance. Instead of just earning interest on your starting amount, you actually start earning interest on the interest you've already made. It creates this incredible snowball effect where your money really starts working for you. And if you're wondering just how big a difference it makes, just look at this graph. It's incredible. Take our 10,000 Rand and leave it for 50 years at 9%. With simple interest, sure, it grows to our 55,000. Not bad. But with compound interest, it explodes to over our 740,000 Rand. That is the insane power of compounding. Now, for the most important part of this entire explainer, I need your absolute 100% full attention here, because this is probably the single biggest rule for your grade 12 math lit exam, and getting this wrong will cost you easy marks. I want you to really look at this slide. Burn it into your brain. The curriculum, the exam guidelines, they are all crystal clear on this point. You cannot just use the compound interest formula. It's one of the most common mistakes students make, and you need to make sure you're not one of them. And you might be thinking, but why? Well, it's because the examiners need to see that you actually get the concept of compounding, that idea of interest being calculated on a new, bigger amount each time. So you have to show them your work year by year. So if we can't use the formula, how do we do it? Well, we're going to walk through an example right now, step by step, exactly how you need to write it down in your exam to get every single mark. Okay, here we go. The most crucial part of this whole thing is that for each new year, you calculate the interest on the new balance. See that? For year 2, we don't go back to the original R1500. Nope. We use the new, bigger balance of R161250. The closing balance of 1 year becomes the opening balance for the next. You just keep repeating that process until you're done. Okay, now that we know the two methods inside and out, let's put them to the test with a classic exam-style question. This is the kind of thing they love to ask, where you have to compare two different options. This is a great one because it really makes you think. You've got a higher simple interest rate, 8%, versus a slightly lower compound rate at 7.5%. Now, at first glance, you might think the 8% is the no-brainer, right? Higher is better. But is it? Let's find out.
So let's lay out the final numbers side by side. On the one hand, our simple interest calculation gave us a final total of R1860. And on the other hand, our manual step-by-step compound interest calculation, that came out to R1863.45. So the winner is clear.
And what does this tell us? It proves that even with a lower interest rate, that compounding power can come out on top. It's like that story of the tortoise and the hare, you know? The simple interest gets a faster start, but the compounding steadily picks up speed and overtakes it. That growing balance makes all the difference. So let's wrap this up. What are the big ideas, the key takeaways you absolutely have to remember, not just for your exam, but for, life? Think of this slide as your final checklist. Number 1, and I'm going to say it again, always use the manual, step-by-step method for compound interest. No formulas. Remember, simple interest is that flat, straight-line growth. Compound interest is that accelerating curve that goes up and up. Show all your work, and always remember, the closing balance of one year is the opening balance for the next.
Look, getting this right isn't just about the grade you'll get on your final exam, though that's important. It's about really understanding the language of money. It's like giving yourself a financial superpower that you are going to use for the rest of your life.